This is the Tabernacle Podcast with John Familia and me, Britton Bishop. What's up, John?
It is September 2023.
Yes, it is.
And we coming.
We're back.
we coming. No, we're coming hard.
Yeah. What'd he say? He said, just tell him. We ain't coming no more.
We ain't coming no more. We here. Oh, we're referencing Coach Prime.
Oh, yeah.
I am on a Coach Prime high right
it's
now.
Deep. I love
the
it.
The media doesn't know what to do with him.
No, they have no idea. They haven't known what to do with him since he got here. No. I know Tim's a big Coach Prime. We got Tim Manzer here.
Tim
as well.
Manzer.
You guys know Tim.
The legend, the man, the myth.
We talked about it at the Ruck. You were watching the Coach Prime stuff too, weren't you?
I really enjoyed the interview because, well, it makes interviews interesting now.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. They're not boring anymore.
Oh, my favorite was actually a couple weeks ago. If you don't know who Coach Prime is, it's Deion Sanders, who was a Hall of Fame, 2-time Super Bowl winner, only athlete to play in a Super Bowl and a World Series. And he's doing an interview where the media is like, why are you so whatever? And, and his response was, y'all don't understand. He goes, you did not make me, therefore you cannot break me. You did not create me, you can't kill me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
he's killing it.
Yeah, but we're back. I miss this.
We're back.
I miss this.
We're back.
And we're honored, Tim, that you've come back and you've brought us a new friend.
Yes.
And we're super honored to have Peppi Martin, right? It's Martin.
Yes, Peppi Martin.
Yeah, we just met a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I love it.
Peppi Martin is 65 years old. He's a part of the Lighthouse Church of God, and he has an amazing story. And so we're kicking off with Change the Life Story, right,
Absolutely, kicking it off. So this is our first episode back, podcast family. We missed you guys, but I will say the month of August was restful for me, at least. Got to play some golf, got to coach some football, didn't have to think about the podcast for a minute. With all that being said, it's good to be back.
I miss the dungeon.
It's good to be back.
I miss the dungeon so much. I brought Tropical Vibe today because it's a little dark in here.
Free shout-outs.
No free shout-outs. Celsius Live Fit.
Peppi, you'll see as the podcast continues, we're on a very, I think I would venture to use the word desperate to get sponsored by somebody. Yeah. Nobody will do it.
So, hey, Lighthouse Church of God, no free shout-outs. Yeah. Just want to say, do the right thing, support this podcast. The Tim Manzer Trust.
Yes, Tim Manzer Trust.
Stop helping pelicans in South Florida and consider us, is just what I'm saying.
I love it.
I do have a quick story.
Of course.
This morning I get a text from my daughter. It's a picture of her backyard. It's completely flooded, right?
Oh, man.
And she lives on the Boardman River. And all three of my kayaks are gone. So I'm just working through that at the moment.
Hey, kayaks, no free shout-outs.
Tim Manzer needs a new kayak.
Yes. Hey, so if you own an outdoor store.
If you're listening to this and you go to New Hope Church, you need to love your pastor.
No doubt.
He wants 4 this time.
Yeah, he doesn't need
3
one.
wasn't enough.
He needs 2. Give him 4. Because the 3 for whoever he's kayaking with and 1 for Britton.
Yeah. I need bigger than mine did a pontoon. Love it. So we're jumping in with Peppi's Change Life Story. So, kind of where did it all start for you at?
Where it started with me, I was 17. Started at 17 using. But my mother and father, they loved God. We went to church. I had 10 brothers and 3 sisters. And 5 of them passed. And I'm in the middle. And I was out of 10, all of them, I'm the only one been to prison. But my mother and father, they loved me no matter what I did. They came, they stayed with me. They never said what I couldn't do. They always told me I can do it. My mother used to tell me that we all have choices in life. God give us all gifts. We all have choices. If you don't use your gifts, God will take them away. So I learned that when I got on this journey. So I started using one of my brothers helped introduce me with weed. That's where you start at, with the drugs. So I started that, and then when I hit my senior year, I started using, smoking, drinking. And I just kept going. When I got into that summer, I was going into Northeastern. And because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just was just going through the motions, so I started using, I started smoking. When I hit 21, I started using again. I kept going. It's just it was getting more and more, from weed to alcohol. And I couldn't stand alcohol, but I just done it because, I had to balance it all out. So I used the drugs, I did the alcohol. Then I got 21. When I hit 21.
Can I slow the story down? All right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Talk about the choir.
Oh,
Singing
sorry, he's going back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going back.
That's why Tim's
Hey,
here.
Peppi don't play. He went to DEFCON 4.
Because
Yeah.
he has this good thing to have Tim. Sometimes I have to move. I move kind of fast.
He moves
No,
way
you
too
I gotta
fast.
slow
I'm
down.
slowing
It's all
him
good.
down.
It's all good.
I love
So I
the story
just-
about singing in the choir.
Wait, I'm going to go back deeper. Before we get to the choir, where are you from?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
part?
I'm Chicago, right in northwest side.
Northwest.
Drove
side.
like 5 minutes from downtown.
Gotcha.
Are you a
Yeah.
Cubs or a White Sox fan?
I like them both.
Okay.
But when
Whoever's winning.
but when they come together, I go Sox.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
I
Yeah.
respect it.
Same.
Yeah, yeah. So what I see you talking about, I was in the choir, cause I told you it's a bunch of us, it's all of us. As you get older, some of them just left the church. They did their own thing, but I kept going, even though I was still using, and I started singing in the choir. Now we have there's a door. There's a door right by the steps. All I have to do is step down. I'm right out the door.
Ah,
You know,
plan.
so-
Yeah.
So when we singing, and after we get through singing, they did the offering, right? As soon as they say the offering, I was gone. I shot up out the back.
But you love the choir. I mean, you wouldn't be there because that's work, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sung.
So there's something that you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my mother and father used to tell me, you can't just sit around.
Yeah.
You got to serve in something. You can't just sit up in there warming up a seat. Get out there and do something.
Can you
You
come
know?
to my church and
Yeah.
just preach that again? I think you did a better job than I did.
I love it.
So
You heard it here first.
that's what I
You gotta
did. I did whatever my mother wanted me to do. He
Mhm.
said, you wanna. I wasn't good at praying, so I did the Lord's Prayer. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
But he told me get up there and read something. I'll do it. He'd be on the deacon board. You want to do that? But I never told him no. I just went on and did it. Even though I knew I didn't want it. I didn't like it, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And
all of those times, like, where were you, like, personally at with Jesus? Like, was there any thoughts of, like, as you're singing these songs or you're hearing the sermons or you're doing those stuff, like, was there any, like, thoughts of, like, man, this is real? Or, like, is it like, I'm good, I'm just doing this for mom and dad?
No.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my mother and father, but also, man, when I was up there singing, I wasn't listening to what I was singing. It was just coming out.
Yeah.
My mind was thinking of, I can't wait till I get out of here. I want to leave. So once I get out, I could do my own thing. That was my thing. That was my God doing me.
Yeah.
I was my own God doing my own
When
thing.
you skipped out, what'd you do? When you took off from church?
I went straight, got me something to drink. Went to the guys who never went to church.
Yeah.
Went around with them. I just kept doing that. And the more I kept around, the more you dwell on certain things, it'll come to pass. I kept on with the guys. They introduced me to more drugs. More drugs. Then soon later, one guy, I was gonna go to his house one day. Come to find out, he was right in front of he was in the kitchen, had OD'd. It was going through. I was seeing a lot of that stuff. I saw my sister. My father went and saw what's wrong with my sister. She's a year older than me. They couldn't find her, so they went to her house. They went to her house and they opened up the closet door, and she was down there in like an embryo. And she was in there with the pipe in her hand. Now she's like over 30 years clean. But all that stuff we went through, my mother and father was still there. All they did was pray. I'm almost certain that's what she did. We didn't know it. When they got, the Bible said, when you pray, go in your house, shut the door, and pray. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Because we never saw it. We just did it on our own. Because I know it because where I'm at now, she has been looking out for me.
Yeah. I love that. So you're 21, still doing church stuff here and there and stuff like that. But when did you see kind of your life? Like, was there a part where it was like, you know what? I'm done with all this. I'm doing me completely. I'm not even going to play this game anymore.
Or did it get worse?
Yeah.
You know what? You know the thing about it? I kept going to church. Kept going. Didn't hear nothing. I just was going through the motions. Because what it was, even though you go to church, you can still be separated from God.
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't know none of that stuff. I just was doing this for my mother and father. But I kept on doing my own thing. And that's when they caught me, because the guy gave me some speakers, and I went to sell them. Come to find out, those speakers were from my church, and I'm out there trying to sell our church's speakers. Didn't know who they were. So what it was, then the police caught me, and come to find out, when the guys come out of that door, come out of the car, it's my father and my niece's husband.
Oh, dang.
Now husband.
Busted.
I'm seeing both of them looking at me, and I'm looking at my father, and I just, you got me, because ain't nothing I could say. If I say I'm here, they got the stuff in my hand. I got it in my hand, so I'm just gonna take the weight, because I got it. I can't, if I tell them, man, I didn't get them, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I'm on drugs. I did all that. They're not gonna believe me. So I went. I did it. And I took it. That's when I first went to jail. But they didn't want to press charges. But so sometimes when you get pressed charges, they say if they don't do it, sometimes the judge, or they'll press charge. So I did that. I kept going down, and I kept going more and more to jail. And then one time, it was in 2008, I was going in there, and the judge, I would say I was going in there for $40 for a bag of rocks. 4 bags of rocks, that's $10 a piece, $40. So he told me, if you come back in front of me, I'm going to charge you as a Class X felon. When you're a Class X felon, they could get you anywhere from 3 to 14, 16 years. He could just, anywhere between those years, he'd give them those. So
sorry, what were your jail time before that? Would it be like 60 days, a couple months?
So what I did when I went to jail, we go to court, and then they give you probation.
Okay.
So I went there. I did that two times. I went there, and I got temptation. I got out, maybe stayed out a month or so, but then I go back. But I didn't realize, I wasn't paying no attention to the judge, and that was the same guy. So then the third time I came up in there, after I told him, he had told me, if you come back, I'm gonna charge you as a Class X felon. So I came back within a week. I comes back in front of him. I said, I'm talking to the guys in the bullpen. He said, man, you better hope you don't have that same guy. Most likely you do. I said, man, he won't even know who I am. But when I got there, he seen me. He said 6 years. Right there, as soon as he got me all the way up there, then he said 6 years. And I told him that, and I told him, hey, I'm an addict. I just need some help. He said, well, I'm going to give you help, giving you 6 years. It's what you do with it. It's up to you. So, and that basically started my journey. Even as a journey with doing all the, even going to all the drugs, you're still going through a journey.
Right.
I was going through that. My mother and father used to tell me, son, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. when she would tell, that's because my father was born in 1919.
Mhm.
My mother was 4 years younger. And they didn't have, all they knew how to, they write their,
Yeah.
just write, sign their name.
Yep.
But they had wisdom,
Mm.
and he would just tell me, when you do right, it'll follow you.
Yeah.
When you do wrong, that's going to follow you. You just got to be nice. You got to be kind. Look out for people. But as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
That's a word.
Yeah, so, and those, they don't say too much, but those are the things they would say.
Yeah.
So I just, when I thought about whenever I did something wrong, that pops in my head. So when on the 2018 or 2008, I went to prison. When I went to prison, they wanted, in Chicago and Illinois, they got a prison state for all for substance abuse. It's called Sheridan. But I didn't want to go there. So I told him, I want to go, I'm going to go, I want help. But I want to go, I don't want to go to a Sheridan. I want to go to, I could talk to other people. So I went there. When I got there, remember I got six years.
Mhm.
And then by me going to go for a drug rehab, that shaved my from 6 to 3 years.
Okay.
Right? So when I did that, after the first year, they put a paper up there, and it says, from now on, if the judge give you 10 years, you're going to do the whole 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more half. Only way you could get half if you do good time, like going to substance abuse, you having a problem.
Right.
So I had to do that. I did all of that, but I was 2011. That was the last year. I got like 8. I had my 9 more months later, and that's when everything started happening. Particularly because started getting headaches. So and there was another guy who just came into the room, because in that place you got 100 guys on one side, 100 guys on another side, and every room is 20 guys in there.
Oh man,
packed up in there.
Yeah.
You could just walk down the middle. That's all you could do. Walk in, go into your bunk. But
3 years you had 20 roommates.
20 years.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Fights, all that. We had to have a guy. We had to have a guy in there who runs the 20 guys.
Mm-hmm.
We had to choose who's going to be the guy who's going to run it. And whatever goes wrong, he's responsible. And he go to the guard, and then we take care of it.
Yeah.
Internally.
Wow, that's rough, man.
Yeah.
So, like during this time, is this getting your attention, or is it just I'm just gonna endure?
Yes. So what I was doing,
is something changing? Because like I wrote down, if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like, is that starting to sink in yet?
Yeah, it wasn't there yet. But what it was, when he hit me, even when he hit me with the 6 years, it really didn't bother me. Because I've been there. I never did the 6. They gave me 3 one time, and it didn't bother me. But I did this with 6. I need to buckle up. Do what I got to do. Because my mother called me. Because what I did, when you say if I did what I did, right? They say you gotta deal with, take the weight, meaning just go and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother with your mother, your father, your wife, or your kid. Take care of your business in prison, because there's nothing you could do out there. Go in there and do what you have to do, and get out, and hopefully don't come back. But I was trying at this time. I was trying to do what I had to do. Then I met when I was in it's called 26 in California in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was some guys used to come in and talk to the inmates.
Mm-hmm.
And they only talk to the guys who's in substance abuse, doing stuff like that, who's not been there that long. So it was 2 guys. Both of these guys, one was the leader of the vice lords, other one was the lieutenant. The lieutenant is the one. He's the one who the leader tells him to take care of business, right? So these two guys, they had both of them had life. I don't know how they got out. I guess they made some type of the DA did something. In other words, they out. So what they did, they got I can get the words out. You know, if you get if you ain't did your high school diploma,
GED.
Yeah. They went and got their GED. Now both of those guys, they got their doctor's degree. And then they came and they talked to us. And they talked to us and they asked me, when did you first start using? Then I told them 17. And that's when the guy told me that's when you stopped growing. And he just left it at that. You know, and then I just thought about it when I heard about that, I said, man, I couldn't wrap that around my head. You know, how I'm growing up.
Yeah.
But not
there.
Not in the mentally.
Yeah.
And Peppi, both of these fellows that had been part of the gangs that had come back to minister in the jail were Christians now, right?
That day I don't know.
Okay.
But they was doing what they were doing was right.
Yeah.
They had come back, left the gangs, and come back to
Yeah, they did all of that, and the thing about that, even though they're doctors, they got doctor's degree, they still got like say if you want to get a job, you got that application that says, have you been convicted?
Yep.
That's a mark. And you can't, even though he's doing good, it's a doctor's degree, and he still got that. When they look at that, they're gonna look at that like they did with me.
Yeah.
You know, you can't even you can't do anything. They try to stop you from doing it. How could a person turn their life over when you
got the mark?
You got the mark on you right quick. You know, but you gotta learn how to persevere.
Yeah.
Got to keep going.
So when he came in and he told you that's when you stopped growing, at that point, how much time did you have left of your sentence?
When I did that, I hadn't got sentenced yet.
Oh, okay.
So when he did that, that's when started sticking in my head.
Yeah.
Because he said when I stopped growing, because that
So he
gave
gave
me
you
something to think about.
Yeah.
I said, man, what is he talking about?
Because, like, how old were you at this time?
I was 54.
So 54, and he's telling you it's 17 is when you stop growing. Like emotionally and as a person.
I'm 54 years old, and I'm listening. This guy telling me, you stopped growing when you was 17. And it just stuck in my head. Yeah. That's when I said I got to change. That's when I went to prison. And then I got in the 2011. I was getting ready to hold on. When I was in there, the 2011, I was getting ready to leave. No, it was that 8-9 months. I had a stroke, aneurysm, and didn't know I was getting ready to be having seizures. All this was happening at the same time.
All while you're in prison.
Yeah. So I got up in there because I knew it was a little headache.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what it was. And then the guy talked to a guy. He spoke. He said his name. He asked me my name, and I couldn't get no words out. So, and they took me to the guard, and the guard told me there's something wrong with Peppi. He can't even talk. Then the guard said, "Get back, sit down." You know, because it was like 10 o'clock at night. Nothing you could do. Sit down. You know, you think you're doing things like that. They think you're in prison. They think you're lying just to go to the
infirmary.
Yeah.
You know, so I did that. When I woke up, I couldn't go to sleep because I was in pain. When I got up, my head was like a jackhammer. It was hitting me upside my head. Then they took me to the infirmary, and then I sat there for 5 days. They didn't give me nothing but I called them Tic Tacs because those painkillers wasn't doing anything. Yeah, so it was just hurting.
Yeah.
And that took me, after the 5 days, I'm sitting there. Then they finally called the ambulance. When the ambulance came and got me, he looked at me. He said, "This man, how long has he been this way?" He said, 5 days. And he said, "He's got an aneurysm. It's one that this guy hasn't it hasn't even bust. So they took me to the hospital. The first hospital, they didn't want me there. So I had to go further. Took me an hour to go to Peoria. So we went there. You know, I got there and they put me in. They took me into IV, and that's when I realized. When I got out, that's when I realized I had something with. They gave me stomach Keppra.
Mm-hmm.
That's for seizures.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was dealing with seizures, aneurysm, and stroke. All this was happening at the same time. So then when I found out, I stayed there for about 4 days. And then I came back. So now I had to take these pills. And I'm going there. I said, now I can't talk. That's when I thought about my mother. When my mother told me, God gives us all gifts. And if you don't use them, you're going to lose them. And that's when I realized I can't talk. I can't sing. I thought about me in the choir. I was up there playing around with God. Basically, that's what I was doing.
yeah.
Playing around with God, singing His words, and I was just belting out songs. You know, just cause I know I could sing it. You know, but I said, I wish I could. Now I wish I could have that voice back.
Yeah.
You know, and I could sing. So then I sat there. Then they gave me a speech therapist. All they did was she gave me the tools, you know, because they're gonna have me keep calm. She came 2 times, and what had me to learn how to speak again was Dr. Seuss.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. At age 54.
Age 54. She gave me she didn't give me I couldn't get the whole book. She gave me papers with Dr. Seuss. So I went through Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat. I did
You're
that.
rhyming.
Yeah, I did that. I did that all the way, even when I got out.
Wow.
Because I couldn't do remember. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know none of everything I knew. I lost all of it. I was I was a grown man. It was almost like what that guy said. If you ain't 17, if you lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You stop growing.
you stop growing.
Wow.
And it's just now look at me. It's even worse because I'm going through all of this. I just said, well, then I thought about. I sat there, said, God, I need some help. That's the first time I asked him. You know, out of all that time, from 17 all the way to 54, I just said, I need some help. That's all. I need some help. I'm here by myself. I got stuff going up in my head. I can't think. I don't even know who I am because I can't talk out loud. I said, I need some help. I can't even read my Bible. I could read. I could look at it. I can't say it out loud. So I'm looking at it. I said, God, I wish I could just sing. Just do something. I'll sing for you. You know, so one day they came. They was having a preacher came. And then one of the guys, because I used to sing before all this happened, I was singing in the choir in the prison. So one of the guys sent me, and they told me, Peppi, you want to come? I said, I can't walk over there. He said well, they pulled me over there. So I went up in there, and I sat there. And the guy, he knew me. He said, Peppi, I wish you could sing. You know, I know you're in bad shape. And I sat there, when I sat there and I pulled up there, and all of a sudden I got the mic, and all of a sudden, music, the words just came out. I sung A Change Gonna Come. And that's the song that, cause about that song is about Martin Luther King and all of that.
Never heard it.
Yeah.
You might have to sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that
Oh, no. No.
that Benny has issues, but we're going to let you sing, okay? Sing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running. I've been running ever since. It's been a long a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Oh, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I've gone to the movies, and I'll go downtown. Oh, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother, and I said, brother, would you help me, please? Then it winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Whoa, there's been times that I thought I couldn't last for long. Oh, 'cause now I know, I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know, oh Lord, I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. True. That song, it just got to me. And that was that's my favorite.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, you can sing on our podcast anytime you want.
Yeah.
Sorry,
By the way,
you just changed the rule.
Yeah. Peppi lived through segregation, and that is one of the freedom songs.
Yes.
From segregation, and that's why it was powerful to you. But it's changed. He changed the meaning of it to his life.
Yeah.
Spiritually speaking, a change is going to come. They talk about in their singing, they're going to go to the movies.
Yeah.
That was a change that's going to come. I'm going to have the right to walk into a movie as a man of color and sit down and watch that.
Yeah.
But you're referring to change in your life.
In my life.
Yeah.
And you became a new creation in Christ.
So if I can get this right, and that's awesome. He's in a wheelchair. You're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And you could barely talk. You can't walk. They had to wheel you there.
Yeah.
Can't sing. Man, I wish I could sing. And then give me the mic, and boom, that came out.
Yeah.
That was your first time singing since the aneurysm stroke.
Yeah. I couldn't say a word, but
It's like a testimony.
my hand just reached out. He said, I wish you could sing it. It just gave, and I grabbed the mic. I didn't know what I could sing. It just came out. That's when I said, that's when I first signed. I said, well, I know there's a God. You know, it took, sometimes the person has to go all the way down to the bottom in order where you could see your way up. So that's the way, that's how I felt. I was so low that I couldn't go nowhere. God had to wake me up. Took my life. Basically, he did. To be sitting there with an aneurysm, the aneurysm was the size of a league ball right there, side of my left side. And it didn't bust. I had a stroke, got through that. Alcohol, drug for over 30-some years. Got me through that. I didn't realize none of that, And then when I got out, as soon as I got out, man, I used again. You think you got it, because my mother and father told me, I said, well, I'm done. I'm not going back. My mother said, I'll see. She didn't say nothing negative. She just said, "I'll see. I'll be praying for you," and just left it at that. So when I got out, I used again. And then when I got out, my father had dementia. All of this was different. You know, he had to they had to sell their house and go to a hospital. And my mother had one leg took off, you know, and now my mother and father used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and do their thing, and having 13 kids. Now she can't even get up and make no breakfast. She can do nothing. And I'm sitting there. They lived in the place was like rat infested because they couldn't clean up or nothing. Then I gets up and I leave. And I went to my friend's house right across the street. And I sat there and I stayed there. But then when I got out and I got out that next morning, something came over me. I went to a place where I used to play ball. And I sat there and I just raised my hand up and I said, God, I can't do this no more. You know, please take this taste of drugs out of my heart, out of my mind, out of my heart. I don't want to die in this pain, all these drugs. You know, so then I left it at that. And then it wasn't a week later, because that Sunday, because it was like a Monday, that Sunday I went to church, and then the pastor was talking about putting all your burdens. She had the cross up there, and she talked about all your burdens. You know, leave it up to God. When she got through, I'm bawling, and I turned my life over to God. That's when I turned my life over to God right there. I did from 17 years old all the way to 55. Not once did I go in there and ask God for some help. I just was saying, only way I could stop using is go back to jail. Every time I opened up my mouth, you know, God answered it. You know, it just said, be careful. The Bible talks about the mouth, you know, and I was, every time I said it, I just said, man, I just go back, you know, and I just, for now, and then when I got out, what I did different, I got me a prayer partner. So when I got up in there and I turned my life over to God, then I said, man, I need to get me a prayer partner. You know, these stuff, that I didn't know that was the Holy Spirit telling me this. You know, get your help, get your prayer partner. You need to go something. The only way you could do that, you got to walk differently. You know, so I got me a prayer partner, and I said, I want me a woman, older woman, who could get a prayer through. You know, I said, I don't want no guy. So I figured I could relate more with a woman, because my sister, a year older than me, I used to hang with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I got her. I'm still with her since 2011 till now. So I talked to her, and we did a one-on-one. Then I didn't know what that was. So I went to her house. She fed me. Then she's sitting together. Then she told me to pray. I said, I don't know how to pray. She said, you talking to me, right? Talk to him like that. You know, so I kept doing it. And she would give me text the papers and what's the word? Put the word in.
Verses on it.
Yeah, when you put the words in, it's the cards.
Like an index card. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good.
Yeah, you give me index cards. Give me 2, sometimes 3, with scriptures on it. And then we'll talk about them. And then it's just keeping me. I didn't realize that what she was doing, she was training me all over again. Something I didn't know anyway. But now I know, I want to know. I'm thirsty for it. You know, so I just kept on. She kept teaching me, kept learning. And then all of a sudden in 2015, I was singing in the choir, and the pastor wanted me to sing Change Gonna Come. He wanted me to sing, so I get up there to sing. As soon as I stand up there, I think it was like 1 o'clock. Next thing I knew, it was 7 p.m. at night. I was in the hospital. I had a seizure. I didn't know where I was at. I had a seizure. I did that. Then the next thing I knew, I went to the doctor. I had cancer. So when I had cancer. So I had 5 brothers and 3 sisters, right? So they told me you can't be by yourself. So I went and stayed with my older sister. She smoked cigarettes and I don't like smoking. So I stayed there for a little while, and I finally got my own place. And it took me a long time, trying to do things. I used to be by my brother all the time. We had in our own house, we had me and him. But I finally got my own, It took me a long time, since I got out from the Left Town 11. It was 2014. And I finally got me a place. And every time I got me a place, it was October 1st. I asked God to give me a place. And that's all he gave me. Gave me a little room with a bed. So then October 1st, I said, well, nah, if this how this works, I said, God, give me a bed with a kitchenette with closets. I got that October 1st. But then I was in so much pain. And I told him I'm coming back home. I got the Blue Cross Blue Shield. And what they did, I got me a place I could take me, come to get me to go to chemo and take me back. So I did that, and then one night, it was at 2 a.m, and all of a sudden, my nose, I could feel something. It was blood. Like if you take water and you pour it out, that's how the blood was coming out of my nose. And I said, wow. So I was able to get my phone, and I called my prayer partner. I told her what was going on. And she said, I'll pray for you. So what I did, I said, God, I need some help. It's 2 a.m, what am I going to do? So all of a sudden, I went and got me a towel. I was like this, and I had about a bunch of tape, toilet tissue. I'm running out because I'm studying poking my mouth. So I got me some towel, nice cold towel. I was just going to put it on my nose, but I put it over my whole face. And then she started talking to me, and she was praying for me. Then all of a sudden, I was able to fall asleep. I wasn't in no pain. I was just sitting there. Then next thing you know, I moved. The blood was gone. And then she was calling. She was saying, son, son, son. Then I woke up. She said, God got you, God put you to sleep, didn't he? I said, yeah, I feel good. I don't have no pain. I could go to sleep now. So that's another reason. That's another reason why I know how good God is. God could get you to sleep even when you got some pain. God could heal that pain.
What was the name of that prayer partner? Because it sounds like she discipled you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trained you up.
Her name was Ann Goings.
And she was a lot older than you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm picturing some of the older ladies in churches that I went to, just like an old saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was
sorry if she's listening. I didn't call you old. You're a blessed saint. Yeah.
But she is very old, right?
Yeah. She's in
and she's
middle
alive
80s.
still.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's the one now. She does the Bible study. She didn't want to do that at first because they always wanted her to do Bible study. She said, no, when God calls me, I'll do it. I'm not going to do it just because you want me to do it. So
why did she say yes to you? Like it sounds like you went to her and said, hey, I need a prayer partner.
You know what it was? The pastors, when I first came in, I was like thirsty for God. I want it now. But I still got that now frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I want it now. So I was then next thing you know, I go home. They called me, and that was the pastors. That was Ann, the lady who I wanted. I said, that's the one I wanted. She don't even know who I was. I knew the brother, the brother's brother. So I had him, and then she calls me. She said, Bobby, you Bobby? I said, yeah. That's what they called me. And then she said, you need a prayer partner? I said, yeah. I said, I'm Ann. I said, okay, I know your voice. So I've been her first prayer partner. Now she's got 4 or 5 of them.
Wow.
And she's my spiritual mother.
Yes.
Because she taught me with those cards. you know, how to learn how to pray. I'm just not learning how to pray with him, because he caught me one time in the prison. He said, pray. I didn't have to think. I couldn't think. So the words, God just gave me the words to say.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to learn. But then when I overcame that cancer. When I overcame that, I came here because I got tired of staying in Chicago.
Well, okay, wait. Chicago to northern Michigan. Like, how did you even know about northern Michigan? I mean, this is like the barbarian white north. It's just cold. Why didn't you go south?
Because remember I had two nephews. They came here. One was 18, one 19.
Okay.
You know, when I came here, they was in their 40s. Every time I seen them, they would come to Chicago. They was at funerals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just come in and come out. And then one day, they told me I had overcame the cancer at that time. Then he said, Unc, won't you come to Chicago? Won't you come to Traverse City and visit? I said, okay. Now I'm packing. But guys, you know how God told Abraham, go?
Mm-hmm.
That's what came in my head. I'm start packing everything up.
It wasn't a visit. You were coming and you were staying.
I was coming. So I did that, and I was at a place that you have to be homeless to get into this place. So I got into it, and there was another guy. He's my height, everything. And I seen him. I gave him not all my shoes, gave him my shoes, my coats. I had me a Stratford. I just got it. And I gave it to him, gave him all my shirts, everything that I get, and I could put in the bag, and I took it. So I came here. When I came here, I had to get a cancer doctor, I had to get a neurologist, I had to get all of that. And then I went to church. And that's when I called my niece, and I told her, hey, bring me all the rest of my clothes. I'm not coming back. Right?
Wow.
So I stayed here, and I still was gonna leave because my background, I couldn't get me an apartment because it says equal opportunity up there. But they didn't want. They'd say, okay, you want a place? I said, yeah, but we don't want you. Basically, you got a background. They didn't know who I was, so I just sat there. I was getting ready to leave. And then my favorite verse is, trust God with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, right? So that's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. So when I did, I just sat there at my nephew's house. And I just sat there. I was looking I had the keys from Chicago. And then I called a preacher. He's in prison ministry too. So he called me. And he gave me my favorite scripture, trust in God. Because I said, I'm getting ready to leave. Why did you come? Why did you go? He said, you need to trust in God. Start leaning on your own understanding. I'm telling me, that's my favorite verse. So I said, okay. Then I called my sister. My sister tells me the same thing. He said, you went there to turn your life around, right? So why you leaving? What if you leave and you miss your blessing? You don't know what God plans for you. Stay there. Don't come back here. Don't do it. So what I did, that's when I went over there to the Aspen Hills, and I told the lady my testimony, what happened. And October 1st, again, I got into that place. God is working. But this time,
I'm I got with you on October 1st.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna call you on October 1st with all my prayer lists. Sorry, man, that was bad.
Because when I did it, when I talked to my prayer about, she said, you got to be specific. You can't say I want a prayer. I want this. I want that. God just gonna give you this. He gonna give you that. But I told him I want me an apartment 5 minutes from the church. I want me a 1-bedroom house. Man. I want a 1-bedroom apartment. Possibly give me a house. I was going all in this time. But God gave me all what I needed right there. 5 minutes from my church. And I just thank God every day now, because I'm happy now. I used to be wearing dark colors all the time. Didn't even watch them like my mirror. I didn't look at mirrors because I didn't like what I saw, And when I got out one time, I got out my first place. I found a big. I'm 6'6", I'm 6'2". I found me a mirror. My height. I put it up against the wall, and I sat there and I said, God is good. I sat there for a minute. I sat there and I turned and I moved it to another side. I sat there again. I said, God is so good. Because I said, it's been a long time since looking at myself. Now, the way I am. And so when I came here, it was after I had cancer again. I went through it again. That was in 2018. I went through it again. This got worse because I had anal cancer. That's why I had to help I had a little pad. I need some extra padding. So I went through that, went through it again. And I came here, but this time I wasn't by myself. God was with me. God was with me all the time. I have brothers and sisters, but they had their own lives. So this time I had me an advocate, So I talked to her. She said, well, Peppi, all you got to do is get well. And I'm going to give you, she got me a nutritionist. She got me a therapist. When I was doing the chemo, a lady came up to me and she said, you want a massage? I said, how much that costs, right? But she said, no, all this involves. I could go. She give me when I'm going to chemo, she massaged my neck. Then at the Cancer Center in Traverse City, they got a place you could go in there, you could pray. That's on the second floor where you do chemo. So I went up in there. I did that. And then next, I overcame the first time. Then this time, overcame it again. But I had to do my last radiation. I had to do it. Only thing is, my right side, the nerves. It was so much pain. I didn't know what was going on. So, but I had to do that last treatment. I said, but I couldn't, because I thought it was like being up in there 15 minutes. It's only 5 minutes. It felt like it was 15. So I couldn't. So I got up. And I said, man, I can't lay in there because this thing hurts. It's the pain all through my legs. So then, when you got the people who put you to sleep, they don't mess around on the weekends. But then somehow my doctor, she talked to him, and he came. He took me in, and I sat there. So I was able to do my MRI. He had to put me to sleep. So they put me to sleep, and I was able to do it. But then when I did that, when it came back, all the thing came back, the cancer's gone. Again. I said, okay, right on. So that's when I started reading my Bible, started getting closer. I said, I want to get into prison ministry. So I was trying, when I came in here, I was trying it, but I had cancer. I was going to go to Newberry, to prison. But I couldn't because I couldn't walk. I had a walker. So when I did that, I never stopped about thinking about going into prison ministry. So I kept going. And then I hit that, and I overcame the second cancer. This happened in 2019. That's when it cancer again, But this time, they told me stage 4 cancer. And I said, man. So you know what it was? What I was doing? What I was thinking, I wasn't thinking about the pain, the cancer. See, I got cancer. I know I got cancer. I know that's the most hardest thing, knowing that you got it. The thing is, what are you going to do now? So what I did, I'm going to lean on God. I'm going to lean on him. That's when I got into him even more. So I started reading, I started studying, I started doing it every day. But by me having a stroke, I can't contain it. So I went to a speech therapist here. So she taught me I had a problem with what I read. I can't digest it. So I got to get just little bits of it. I have to go over it over and over and over and over again before I go to the next. The reading, writing, all of that stuff. Because sometimes I can't know like a dishwasher. If I can't get it out, how you gonna tell a person what's going on? So I told him, hey, it's just a little box. You put dishes in there and push the button. So I do that. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
So then I just had to be, because I had to be kind. Got to love others, even though I'm going through things. I didn't realize till now that God gives you go through a lot of things. I went through cocaine. I went through drugs. I went through this. See, when I was in Chicago, when I got out of prison, I wanted to be in prison ministry because what them two dudes said. But I wasn't ready yet. I didn't know that. God have you go through things. I went through seizures, strokes, aneurysm, overcame drugs, and I had cancer 1, 2, 3, and now this is the 4th time I went through cancer. And he said, God is preparing you for something. I don't know what it is. So when I did the CAT scans, the doctor gave me not 1 but 3 CAT scans. He didn't believe that the cancer was gone. So what he said, now I'm going to give you a PET scan. I said, you did 3 CAT scans. He said, you're going to zero in on it. I said, okay. I don't know. He just, I don't know what's wrong with him. So I did the PET scan. Now it's all gone.
Praise God.
So he tells me, he said, Peppi, you want to do it for a whole year? I said, hold on, wait a minute, man. I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm done. Then you say I was healed. I said, okay. He said, what if it comes back? I said, you know what? I've been through this 3 times already. It's time for me to lean on God. We all got to go sometime. But I know I got a God who's gonna watch over me. If I go, as long as I know I'll be with him. But I hope I can stay here for a little while. So that's when I learned. That's how I learned how to really lean on him and trust in him. And it's not about me, it's about God, what I could do for him. And so I overcame that with all through that. Now he couldn't see the cancer. It's gone completely out of it's all gone. So I did through 4 times and I got through it. And I'm just so happy. I feel good. Nothing doesn't bother me like it used to. It's just amazing when you really trust in God and stop leaning on your own understanding. Just trust in him. And just keep going forward. So I just thank God for all he's done for me. So I just kept going. Then I said, I want to be in prison ministry. I need me to get in prison ministry. Help me. I need some prison ministry. Then next thing I'm sitting there at the coffee shop. I was talking to a guy. Come to find out every time I talked to this guy, his name was Tom. He's a preacher. And then he comes out and I told him I want to be in prison ministry. He said, man, I'm in prison ministry. I said, God, I want to say, God, help me. I want to be in prison ministry. Show me if this is what you want me to do. Help me. Next thing you know, I met one preacher. Then I met another preacher. Then this lady named Emily Wade. I'm talking to her because I talked to him about this lady about my testimony. She wrote it. She's an author. She did my testimony. It says O'Neill. I forgot her name. I'm so pumped up. I forgot.
No, that's all right.
That's all
No,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I did my testimony, and then when I was going through all that pain on the 3rd time, she told me to find a lot of healing scriptures. So I did a lot of healing scriptures all around. She told me. I did all that. Every time I looked around, I was singing. I was saying, talked about the lady with the issue of blood for 12 years, and the lady was crippled for 18 years. You know, they said all that. She had faith.
Mm.
You know, and then I said I could do all things through God who strengthened me. You know, all these every time around, I looked around them, and I seen them. I said, man, I'm done.
Mm.
I kept going. You know, just keeping my mind focused on God. You know, just like what Jesus did with Testament, when he was tempted with Satan had him up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. He used the word
Yeah.
of God. So what I'd use scriptures. But she said, don't just say it to yourself. Say it out loud and claim it. So that's what I did.
Mm.
And then the doctor tells me, I'm getting ready to retire. You know, but why don't you keep doing this? Another doctor coming. He studied trying to push me into go to chemo and stuff again. I said, no, man, I'm done. Matter of fact, I'm not coming here no more. You know, I'm gone. If you want me to, I'll go. And I talked to my doctor. I said, my primary care, if you want me to, I'll go get me a colonoscopy if you want. But I might not do that. You know, if I'm really trust and believe in God, I'm good. You know, I'm good. I'm 65. I'll be 66. I'm just God blessed me already. I just want some more time, which He's giving me. You know, I'd say give me 70 or 75. I'm all good.
And you're doing prison ministry now too, right?
Yeah.
Is this where you met Tim?
Yep. Through
Tim was an inmate when he
Emily.
first got.
Tim, let's talk about your hard time.
Yeah.
through Emily. I think her name Emily
yeah.
Wade.
Emily,
Yeah.
yeah, Emily's a friend of mine, her and her husband, and said, you got to meet Pepe. And I had lost my partner in the ministry during COVID. He was no longer able to serve together, and I was doing it by myself. Everybody
And this
else
is just in Traverse City.
in Traverse City at the Grand Traverse Trail, and I've been doing that Bible study now for the last 27 years, and so I was looking for a partner, and I've been specifically praying for a man of color. I wanted somebody who was indigenous or black or Latino because it's the most integrated spot in Grand Traverse County is that jail, and I wanted somebody who'd been in prison. I wanted somebody who has recovered, somebody that found the Lord, and I sat down with Peppi, and I wanted somebody who could sing.
Check.
And he prayed on October 1st.
And so I like Peppi. And so we had so many hoops because understandably they don't want felons as chaplains in the Grand Traverse Jail. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me.
That doesn't make sense to me either.
But the reason is they like us white guys that have never been in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
At least that they know about. And
We get eaten alive in there.
and so Peppi went through the 6-hour class, the criminal background check, the fingerprinting, the whole bit, but they still wouldn't let him in. So I just signed him up. You're going in with me on Tuesday, and I sent a note to the sheriff that Peppi's coming. So they had to have a last minute meeting, and so they still making us go through hoops. They won't give him the chaplain badge yet, but we're gonna keep showing up and keep doing
I
that.
can make you one probably.
And
We
but-
know some people.
But we also gave Peppi another job. So we have a couple houses in Traverse City. Jamie's house, which houses women's coming out of jail, and then we have a new one that's just opening up. We have our first person in there. It's called the Freedom House, and it's for men. And Peppi, you're doing the screening, right?
Yeah, I'm running a house.
There you
Running
go.
the house. So Peppi is
Awesome.
running Freedom House now.
Yeah.
So you went from being in a cell with 20 men for 3 years under a leader. Now this is a different kind of house, and you're the leader.
Yeah, the thing is, I was the ones who going in that place. Now, everything is just flipped.
Yeah.
And turned my
So
life
good.
around.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know. As I hear your story, I just think about like the scripture in John 4, the woman going to the well, and Jesus finally can keep coming here, but until you drink from this, you're still going to be thirsty. And I think that your life is just this picture of like, man, I'm going to keep trying this thing, and then finally, the Spirit of God got a hold of you, and that thirst has been. It's one that He's continuing to provide. I love it. It's been a blessing just to hear your story and hear how God's using just your perseverance. My goodness, man, you're tougher than most. I'll tell you that. I love it.
Took a lot. You know, you just got to keep going.
Yeah,
Keep smiling.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
being worried about anything that's what I got on my back of my shirt. Do not let your circumstances determine your attitude.
Mm.
So you got to be smile.
Yeah, it reminds
Don't worry
me.
about things.
Yeah,
You know, I'm. It's funny you said that it made you think of Christ with the woman at the well. I'm thinking about Jesus. I think it was the pool of Bethsaida, where the waters would be stirred, and then they would be this rush to be the first one in the water to get healed, and all these sick people, maybe some of them are addicts, we don't know, and they're around the pool, and Jesus sees one guy laying there who can't walk, he can't do anything, and just listen to your story about how many times Jesus, like the words came to my mind were helpless and hopeless. You got addiction, is this recurring thing, and Jesus looks at the man and says, "Do you want to be healed?" Which is the craziest question you could ever ask. The guy's laying there, and his response was, "I can't get to the water." You know, essentially, you know what you said that prayer was in that where you used to play ball, where he said, "I need some help," and it was like the first time. It's like, I'm looking at you, and then that series of events that from finding the church to Sister Anna, was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. To God telling you, like Abram, go to Traverse City. Which, man, Lord, just send me to Florida. You know, but hey, go to Traverse City, and then sticking with it, you know, and even the people in your life still telling you, God moved you there for the reason you need to stay there. And so, you know, now you're part. So Lighthouse Church of God was the church that you found in Traverse City.
Yeah.
And then the prison ministry is Keys to Freedom.
yeah,
Right.
And that's the one that you're both a part of now.
Yeah.
love it.
It's just an unbelievable story.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be believable by now
Yeah.
because we all know how great God is.
Yeah.
But I just love hearing it again because it's like living, breathing testimony right in front of me.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, because, you know, me, you know, where I've been, I met two guys. I went to a retreat. It's about 20, 30 guys. You know, the guy name is David Geyers. And he's not a preacher, but he got us all together. And then out of them, it's 5 of us get together. All these guys all of them got businesses. It's me. I told him one time, I said, man, you know, man, y'all, I'm here with y'all, man. You know, I used to kick it with guys. All we was doing was drinking, smoking dope, and doing everything, man. But now with y'all, we not drinking, we not doing anything. I'm kicking it with y'all business people, and look at me, you know, and y'all welcome me. They didn't say anything about, because they knew what I went. I told them. I tell them right in the door, this is me.
This is who I am. Yeah.
You know, and they just, and I said, man, I got them. Now I met Tim. I met a lot of preachers, you know, because I said I want people who's going to go on the same path I'm on, you know.
Yeah.
So I was telling Tim, I was watching something on my phone. You know, it's a journey. I know what a destination is. It's the journey. But all we going through, I did all this. I got through this. I got through that. You know, I got a chance to sit back and see. Every time I look at them, look at myself, man, look, I'm still living. I'm doing things. Now I'm now in prison. I'm in a jail. Now they called me 2 days ago. They wanted me to go into the Carriage Prison Ministry. They wanted me to join the Carriage Prison Ministry, to go into the prisons and the jails. I said, man, all you got to do is be patient.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good.
Yeah, but you were all those businessmen, but you got business.
Yeah.
It's just a different kind of business.
Yeah.
You're on God's business.
Yeah, because you know when you don't know,
It's just a different business. It's a better one.
You don't know when you don't know. You think you're not. I'm just me.
Yeah.
What can I use? I can't. Not nothing. Basically, but I know God say I'm more. I am somebody.
Amen.
You know.
Yeah.
I can do it. That's why I like that word. I can do all things. But let's talk. Paul's talking about all the pain he's going through. I went through this. I went through that. But with God, I could do anything. But I just I love God. I'm not gonna let nothing bother me.
Hmm.
Letting stuff worry you. That's taking a lot of energy. I just want to be nice.
Yeah, I love it. It really, I mean, to bring it full circle too for our listeners. I mean, it's completely reiterating, firming up. I mean, where we're at as a church with our subvision of seeking first.
Seek first.
And it's
Kingdom of
just
God.
this beautiful picture of a life that is one that was chaos and uncontrolled to pain and difficulty, but in the story of where we begin to see is it's like, man, you continued to seek the Lord, and it was difficult. 4 cancers, aneurysm, but it's like from that day at the park, and I imagine moving forward, right? It was just, no, I'm going to seek first the kingdom of God, and just seeing how he says, don't worry, tomorrow's got enough. Just be here today. And I think that that's a beautiful testimony and picture of what a life of seeking first can be, that you've went from the guy that's sleeping in the shelter to the guy that's running the shelter, the guy that was in the prison getting ministered to now you're in the prison doing the ministering. And I think that all of that comes full circle because why? Because you seeked first the kingdom of God, and he took care of the rest because he's God and we're not. And I think that that's a beautiful picture just of how your life, your yes to Jesus over a long time, the kind of that long obedience in the same direction, and how all of that has led to this time and place and moment. And now, I mean, you affected and changed my life today, just hearing your faithfulness and how you've walked through difficulty. And I love the reminder that you gave just to me. This is something I learned, Tab Podcast family, when you said it was Scripture. When Jesus was tempted, it was the Word.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so often, so many people get to this place of, God, help me, praying, and it's like, I've given you everything you need. Will you just remember it? And it's that when Jesus is faced with that temptation, for me, when I'm faced with hardship and difficulty and temptation, there's already words there.
Yeah.
I just need to remember them. I need to proclaim them. I need to live in the victory that he's already secured. So I love that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for ministering to me today. You made my morning better. It's a gray day in northern Michigan, and now I get to leave. I might need to change out all black. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Scripture. It's Scripture, and find a sister Ann.
Yeah.
Or a brother Andrew.
Yeah.
Just something.
Yeah. Love it.
Somebody that can disciple you like that.
Or text me. I'll give you Tim Manzer's number.
Oh, yeah, Tim, we got work for you.
I talked to a guy.
I am his mentor into the ministry. And
There you go.
And there's one more verse I want to throw out. We're supposed to comfort wherewith we've been comforted.
Yeah.
By the way, when I am in, and they missed you, I was in jail Tuesday night without you. And they're like, where's Pepe? And sorry, Pepe's at a Bible class. And but comfort wherewith you've been comforted.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, these gals in jail, listen to him because, well, he knows what he's talking about.
Yes. Yeah, he's been there and done that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that.
The testimony, I mean, just listen to you talk about, I mean, look at me, I got nothing. But with God, you got everything,
Amen.
And none of us are really anything. I don't care if you're a vice lord with a doctorate, or an addict trying to make his way at 65, or just any one of us. But with God, he can make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And so then my nothing becomes something because of him.
Yeah.
And so
You can have people in your life. What's her name? The author, her name, Lori J. O'Neill. She's encourages me. And my prayer partners in Chicago, she texts me every once in a while. Lori calls me. She texts me something. She gives me a scripture, John 10:10. When I overcame cancer, she sent me John 10:10. I put that on my wall.
I've come that you might have life and have it to the full and have it in abundance. Yeah.
Amen.
Love it.
So I do have to ask this. In Chicago, they called you Bobby.
My brothers and sisters call me that.
So your name's Robert Martin. No.
Peppy.
Peppi Martin.
Yeah,
but then they called you Bobby.
Yeah. I figured, because I have 10 brothers. I had 10 brothers, and I'm in the middle. I guess my mother got tired of thinking of numbers. Peppy. Oh, I love it. I want you to be Peppy. Because back in those days, the doctor come, you go there and deliver you.
Mm-hmm.
I was delivered at home.
Yeah.
And I never wasn't crazy about the name, but now I like the name. It's unique.
Yeah, I love
right,
it.
right above the mirror.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Thank you so
That's
much.
Awesome. Man.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. Thanks for sharing
really
your story.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for being faithful.
You might have to come to the tab and sing.
Yeah, I know. I need to introduce him, Victoria. Tim,
You should
thank
hear
you.
some of his soul songs. You guys did not hear that.
That wasn't soul?
That was soul, but he has some Bible soul
nice.
songs that he can pull up gospel songs I have never heard because I'm not part of that culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
But
should
mine
hear it.
was, when I went to prison, you get a song. I don't know where it come from.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
It's just, I think it's just the chorus.
Hmm.
I try to find it. How I'm in the prison. And this song just popped in my head. I knew change gonna come. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But this song, I don't know where it come from. I'm trying to find it. I thought it was Cleophas Robinson Jr. and he got a son. I thought it was him. I don't know who it was. And it goes like, when you feel all alone and when your friends have left you alone, when your heart feels sad and blue, just remember Jesus cares for you, for he's the one who will always care for you. When the storm clouds are raging on the deep hills down the side, God cares for you. Where that come from, I don't even know.
It comes from your soul.
Love it. Love it.
That
man.
is epic.
Oh, that's such a blessing. Thank you so much. I'm not even going to ruin it with anything else. Tab Podcast family, thanks for listening. We're glad to be back. We will see you next week. This is Tim, Peppi, John, Benji, and Britton signing off.